Hello, folks. I'm another fat bearded man talking about records. But as ever, you can call me Headley. Hi. I thought I'd come back with some more folk records that I reckon have been flying under the radar a little bit. And if you like the kind of more singer-songwriter end of British folk music, you might well enjoy these records. As I said, they're not that traditional. They're more of the singer-songwriter style, but I'd still call them folk. So, kicking off, let's have Dave Ellis with Album. This is from 1973. Bit of a shiny laminate on the Sonnet label. So he is predominantly a guitarist, really, in the same sort of vein as Bert Jansch or Davy Graham, that kind of picking. And it's a collection of self-penned songs, sort of very sort of ballady. They're actually not a million miles away from the sort of early John Martin. So if you like him, you might well like this. But as well as the songs, there are instrumentals which kind of show off his guitar playing prowess. So you get a bit of sort of maybe some rags and reels with that. But yeah, a fabulous record from 1973. He didn't really follow it up, although he did go on the Old Grey Whistle Test, and I think he toured with Bert Jansch out on the road. But he kind of then drifted into playing electric music, new wave during the 80s. But now he's still recording and touring with his partner Boo Harrison as a partnership. And he's gone back to his sort of more folky roots. So if you like John Martin, Bert Jansch, you might well like Dave Ellis. Give it a listen.
Don't know which way to turn, where to go or what to learn. I know what's going on inside, but I just don't know where I can hide, 'cause I have been amazed. Yes, I have been amazed. Hitching round from town to town, I feel I've got my head on upside down. I've got so many things to do, but I just wanna be near to you, 'cause I have been amazed. Yes, I have been amazed.
Okay, the second record I'm going to show is by Katherine Howe, and it's called What a Beautiful Place. Now, this was released in 1971, barely released in 1971. Katherine Howe was from Halifax in West Yorkshire, and went off down to London and became an actor, then went to drama school, and was in shows like Dixon and Doc Green, Z-Cars, even in an episode or two of Doctor Who in the 60s. Anyway, she got a deal to record this album with the Reflections label just before it went bust. So this was available for about a week before the label folded. Hence why it is a very sought after record. And this is luckily we have a repress by the Numero Group. Otherwise, trying to find an original copy on the Reflections label is quite tricky. There is one copy, a near mint copy on Discogs, which is going for £3,500. So I'm quite happy to have my repress, even though the master tapes had been lost, and this had to be cobbled together from good sourced copies of the record. But it sounds great anyway. Now, what is it? It is a kind of a pastoral orchestrated folk music. It's absolutely beautiful. She sings about growing up in the north and the landscape, and it's just lush. It's got incredible arrangement by Robert William Scott, who's Bobby Scott, who's a jazz pianist, and he's done an incredible job of creating an incredibly evocative record. There she is there, the typewriter. I used to have a typewriter like that. I did all my essays at university on a typewriter like that. God, it feels like it's Stone Age. Anyway, yeah, a beautiful record. If you're into traditional folk, it might not be up your street, but if you like that kind of orchestrated, atmospheric folk music, you know, I mean, obviously Nick Drake springs to mind with some of the orchestrations, but yeah, it is a fabulous record, and I'm so glad it finally got released. I think she's still recording stuff and giving performances. But yeah, this is certainly worth listening to. So this is from 1971, and it's What a Beautiful Place by Katherine Howe. Okay, next up we've got A Vulture Is Not a Bird You Can Trust by Ian A. Anderson. Now, Ian A. Anderson should not be confused with the Ian Anderson, the one-leg balancing flautist from Jethro Tull. In fact, he added the A so as not to be confused with Ian Anderson. Anyway, this is an album from 1971. It's on his own label, The Village Thing, and he produced it himself, I believe, yes. Yeah, this was recorded at Rockfield Studios. Apparently, they were doing during the day, and Hawkwind were recording in the studio during the night. Anyway, so yeah, this is a bit more, I suppose, folk rocky in places, almost psych in places, light psych. Obviously, it's emphasis on the folk. Ian A. Anderson came through the kind of the country blues scene in the late 60s, and released a couple of albums that were very blues based. He's a great guitar player and another good guitar player. This is a bit of a departure. Like I said, a bit more folk rock. There's a fuller band tunes on here, as well as some solo stuff with him and a guitar. He does do covers of, there's a one Too Many Mornings by Dylan, and Black Uncle Remus by Loudon Wainwright III. But his own stuff is very good, and you know, he is one of those underground names that helped a lot of people with his label, The Village Thing. So yeah, this is a reissue, as a lot of these are, because some of these are very difficult to find, and thank God that some of these, this is on Bonfire Records. I don't know if they're the UK or Spanish or Italian, but yeah, thankfully that these do get reissued. If you're at all interested, there's a really good box set of his stuff. It has 3 albums, including this one, and extra material, and a nice clamshell thing there on the cherry tree. So if you want to explore a bit of Ian A. Anderson, why am I doing that? I'm all bit, yeah, that's better, isn't it? So yeah, but I don't know why I did that, and now I want to put that back in this hand. Anyway, so yeah, so I'll play a track from A Vulture Is Not a Bird You Can Trust by Ian A. Anderson. It's a trippy cover, isn't it?
You've been walking around all day, burning your heart out with a sunburn, trying to drive your blues away, staring glassy-eyed at everyone. Well, you say you want me back now that I'm gone, but it was calling me a dog like a bear leaving. You hate me when I'm here, you want me when I'm gone. Honey, am I doing something wrong?
Okay, so next up we've got a record that was released on Ian A. Anderson's Village Thing label in 1971, and that is the first album by Steve Tilston, An Acoustic Confusion. So this is another record that this is a Spanish reissue on the Wah Wah label. Because again, original copies of this get quite expensive. This is a kind of a folk record, a singer-songwriter record for people who like Nick Drake. There's a real similar kind of sound to some of the album. It's that kind of slightly fey singer-songwriter kind of with elements of jazz in there as well. In fact, I understand that he did after recording the sort of folk material, he did go off and play with jazz groups. He was involved in all kinds of things. He joined up with John Renbourn in his project Ship of Fools. He also played with Peter Bellamy. So he's sort of in with the in crowd in the folk world. But this is a beautiful, beautiful record. It's also got Dave Evans playing guitar and vocals, if you're familiar with Dave Evans, who also recorded on the Village Thing label. So yeah, this was produced by Ian A. Anderson as well. So he was a busy chap in 1971. Yeah, so sort of very sort of pastoral. I like the word pastoral. Bucolic, how about that? Let's go for bucolic. Yeah, very, very laid back. Like I said, think Nick Drake and you're not too far off. But yeah, a cracking record, and really one that is worth seeking out.
Well, strike me dead if you wish, for not a wanting you for long. The season turns, so do I go, empty promises for my songs. Cold winds bending the morning, and the back road bears the pain. I came with a gift of a new day, see I leave with a gift of rain. And see two leaves falling, see they kiss, then drift away. And it's true, I really wanted you, and it's true, I really wanted you just yesterday.
Okay, so that was Steve Tilston, really worth checking out. And we've got to the last record. My fifth choice today is Barry Dansfield, self-titled from 1972. Barry Dansfield is predominantly a fiddle player, and he's from my neck of the woods. Him and his brother Robin were born in Harrogate, which is about 30 miles from me, in North Yorkshire. And he's far more traditional than the other artists I've shown so far. He's also in with the folk rock royalty. He was on the Morris On albums with members of Fairport and Steel Eye Span. But this is an album that he basically produced himself. No, sorry, it's produced by Bill Leader, but it's all played by him. That's what I meant. All instruments and vocals by Barry Dansfield, including guitar, fiddle, and clogs. Always good to have some clogs on a folk record. But this is a bit of a more diverse thing. There are some real traditional folky elements. You've got some reels in here and ballads that he's adapted for this. But also he's drawing from more modern sources. You've got, it kicks off with The Werewolf, which is a Michael Hurley song, who sadly recently just passed away. American folk country artist. It's got a David Ackles song, Be My Friend. And it's even got a version of Broken Barricades by Procol Harum, which he really thought would work as a sort of folk song. So, and it finishes with General Worthington, which is an old music hall song. So it kind of pulls from all over the place, but it works as a whole. It's a fabulous record. It's no wonder that it's quite sought after and it's quite rare. But yeah, I'll leave you with something from Barry Dansfield, and I will be back with something else, maybe some more folk rock, maybe some Americana, maybe some folk rock, American folk rock, or something like that. We'll see, but I will be back. So until then, bye-bye for now.
Once I saw him in the moonlight, when the bats they were flying. All alone I saw the werewolf, and the werewolf was crying, crying, nobody, nobody, nobody knows how much I love the maiden as I tear off her clothes.
You even have an arrangement of Broken Barricades, which I think is Procol Harum, Procol Harum, Procol Harum, Procol Harum, Procol Harum. What can I say? Procol Harum. There you go. Yeah, nice and white satin, all that. Anyway, so yeah, shall I cut that out? I'm gonna cut that out.